Good Friday morning, everybody, and welcome to TRS Live. I am your host, Matt Trotz. How's everybody doing today? Hope you're having a fantastic start to your Friday. I know we are here at TRS Live. I'm excited to talk about some of the products today, and some of the products today are just some of those simple products that you kind of need to have in every single tackle box, while some of the other products too are going to help you catch big fish out there, you know, with either you're looking for walleyes or you're looking for bass, or maybe you're looking to combo some of these events up, you know, bass and walleye trips or big pike, whatever it may be. I got the baits for you today. But first and foremost, let me just introduce what TRS Live is to anybody that's new here. First and foremost, good morning and thank you for watching TRS Live. So what we do here at TRS Live is we go live 3 days a week, right? Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays around that 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. And my job here is to save you money while highlighting some of the products that the Reel Shot carries. And some of the variety of products, you know, we talk about hunting products. We have Mike Williams in here from Mikey's World when you see him on Facebook, talking about the Wise Eye cameras this week. And then we kind of bounce around. We've talked crossbows, and we've talked a lot about all the fantastic fishing products that the Reel Shot carries, you know, and my job is to educate you best on that kind of stuff. But if there's anything that I don't answer, I highly encourage you to reach out to the store, 920-750-6140, or you can also send us a message on a couple of different platforms. So you can reach out to the Reel Shot Facebook page, the Reel Shot Instagram page, or you can also find the TRS Live Facebook and Instagram pages as well. Where do we stream TRS Live? Well, it's basically on all the Reel Shots platforms, meaning the Reel Shot Facebook, the Reel Shot YouTube, and then I repost it a little bit later on to TRS Live, and then it's also available on Fix TV. So Fix TV, I've talked about that a bunch. What that is our video on demand platform, where great shows like obviously Head to Head Fishing, the Jake Jacobs Show, the other show I host, The Guided Life, which I just released a new episode on Wednesday. I appreciate all the support on that one. There's a lot of fans that absolutely love that one. That was a Josie's episode. If you haven't seen that one, that's available on Fix TV with exclusive full interviews with Jessica and Dan and Laura, the creators of Josie's, and then the full interviews are there on the Fix TV platform, or you can also watch it on the Guided Life YouTube channel. But enough about that. So like, as a member or as a subscriber to Fix TV, it's $5.99 a month. But what we do is we offset that cost by giving you a $5 credit to use here on TRS Live or at thereelshot.com, where all the deals we talk about on TRS Live are only available at thereelshot.com, and it's REELSHOT.com. So you got to have that open, because the product codes come up, the pricing and everything there is available on thereelshot.com only. So you know, what we do is we offset that cost, right? So we're going to give you a $5 credit to use here or on thereelshot.com, like I said. Now, if you refer friends, like I think Dylan Williams this morning put a post out there saying, hey, you know what, if you like the Fix TV platform, use my code, use my link, whatever it may be, and get yourself signed up. Well, what Dylan is doing there is he's trying to earn himself a month free of viewing, which will also give him a $5 credit as well. So as long as you have a $5 or a subscription to Fix TV, you will continue to earn that $5 credit to use every month. So it's August, we're fresh into the month of August, so those Fix TV subscribers, remember you have a $5 credit. Now, if you haven't seen that $5 credit, maybe you just signed up yet, there is a frequently asked questions portion at the bottom of the Fix TV, and Fix TV is PHYXTV.com. Go ahead and fill out that information, get that all set up, and then we will get you your $5 credit to ready and raring to roll. So let's get right into the first product of today's show. The first product that we're going to talk about is the Bandit Walleye Deep Diver. And there, boom, just like that on the screen, all the information for this bait pops up. So if you have any questions of what the colors are, it's chrome red eye and it's party zebra. It's Friday, let's have a party. So that information is there. You also see the normal retail price. Normally it's $6.99. You're gonna get this product for $5. Now the cool thing about that is obviously we're saving you money. So basically a fixed TVs, remember, you're getting one of these two colors here for free if this is one of the things you want. And so if you fish Lake Erie or you fish the Bay of Green Bay, you probably have a good assortment of Bandit crankbaits already. These are just flat out big fish catchers. And I kind of doing some homework on this bait. You know, there's so much information out there, but basically the math equation looks a lot like this. It's a big noise bait. It's got a big old rattle in it. You can hear that thing knocking right there. And it's got a big old wobble. So this is meant to be the deep diver here. And it's got that big old wobble to it. And that's going to simply equal big fish. So when you're out there targeting big fish, and this is the time of year, right? A lot of fish are pulling off a structure. We're offshore fishing right now, a majority of what we're doing. So you're trolling. Maybe you got to get down a little deeper. Now, maybe on like, you know, some of those bigger lakes, or those fish are suspended over, you know, basins, things like that, reefs that are out a little bit deeper. You might have to implement some lead core. You know, what did he say on head to head? Is, you know, sing them up with some wire. This bait is going to help you get to those depths. Now, a lot of people are like, well, it's got a big bill already. It's already going to dive down to that 27-foot range. But maybe you need just a little extra to get that down. Well, with the colors that we have, whether it's the party zebra that you see right here or the chrome that you have in my hand, this is going to add that flash. Plus, it's that big old bait profile. You can see that awesome profile of this Bandit lure. I mean, for me, it's one of those simple things is I could tell you all about it, and you can see the colors on your screen right now, but for you as the walleye fisherman, you just know that $1.99 off here for $5 for this bait is an absolute screaming deal. Now, the one thing I want to highlight, why you see those colors kind of flashing on your screen, is this chrome color here is probably going to be a great color for those who are interested in kind of doctoring up their own baits. So if you are one that like to tinker out there and you like to kind of paint your own baits, this chrome color right here that I have in my hand is probably going to be the bait for you. It's got the big red eyes to it. It's got that big bill, you know, and you know as well as with the Bandit lures fresh out of the package like you see right here, these things are going to run about as true as you can get. You know, maybe some slight tweaking if you have to amp up your speeds, but the nice thing about the quality control from Bandit is you basically just have to snap this thing onto your line, tie it directly, whatever you may be doing, and you know that this Bandit's going to run very, very true, especially at some of those higher speeds. So the deep diver here, it's really simple, everybody. It's that big noise. I mean, listen to that sucker. That has a big noise. Now, can you imagine that down at about 30 foot of water, especially if that water's a little stained? Where the senses are going off on them big fish. And right now, too, some of those big fish are just being lazy. We're in those hog days. You know, that's the saying that's going around in the bay. It's the hog days of summer where some of those big fish are in, you know, you got to entice them to bite. But they don't want to have to work very hard. They kind of changed their patterns. They were up shallow. You know, we went from spawn to post-spawn where those fish are kind of like, well, I'm a little bit lazy now. Now we're getting into those hog days where they've changed what they're foraging on. They've kind of moved off from some of them smaller baits, those smaller minnows, so on and so forth. Now they might be out there targeting some of your bigger fish, your alewife, your cisco, your small whitefish, whatever your body of water, big perch, stuff like that. So a bigger profile bait is going to be matching the hatch a lot more. And you go with this, so now, we got the big profile. So sight-wise, these fish are seeing it. Then all of a sudden we start hitting that lateral line because we get this big knocker in there. And the other thing too is now we got that big Bandit wobble that's going to help also hit that lateral line. Yeah. Oh, yeah, iHunter too. He's on the chat right now. So we do have a chat available. He says they can use the precision trolling app to let them know how much line out and at what depths. Exactly. That precision troll. Bless you. Holy man. Asta Lasagna, did you get any Anya in there? Jeez, Aaron. That's these like went through the wall. There might be BB's patterns on this backside of this wall. That sucker was good. Hopefully Aaron's okay. That was a good one. But anyways, yes, that's a great point, iHunter, is the fact is that precision trolling app, if you are a trolling angler for walleyes or muskies or whatever it may be, that precision trolling app is crucial. But you know, all you got to do, right, iHunter, and help me out with this, just look up this Bandit in the size. This is the 4 3/4 inch. It's also the weight on it is the 5/8 ounce. You just plug that all the information in, and it's going to let you know where this bait needs to be. But you know, this is the time of year where you try to amp up your platform. Go a little bit bigger. Go bigger profile baits. You know, big loud noises here, get that big old wobble, and hopefully you start enticing some of those big hogs out there on your body of water to start biting. You know, and you could, if you absolutely wanted to, majority of the time this bait's going to be trolled, right? But there may be some anglers that want to cast this bait. It is technically, you know, it's a deep diving jerk bait, crankbait, whatever you want to may call it. It's got a big, huge bill on it. So this is one. It's just one of those things that, you know, when you tie on, you have the confidence in it, whether it may be the 2 colors here, or maybe you have some other favorite Bandit colors. Again, go through therealshot.com. We're talking about the chrome red eye here and the party zebra, but there's other awesome Bandit colors that the Real Shot carries as well. So because I'm saving you money on these two, maybe you want to take advantage of some of those other baits as well. But you know, this bait right here is just simply going to catch the better quality fish in that system, and it's been proven for the longest time. Bandit has a lot of great information out there, whether it's on their website or you want to follow them on YouTube. They have a lot of great videos out there. But this thing right here, this time of year, if you are a troller and you want to cover a lot of water and try to narrow down, that's one thing that I think some of the anglers maybe forget about, maybe not, is troll through an area. If you don't have some of that live imaging that everybody's rocking right now, troll through an area and start noticing, bam, bam, I'm getting some of those bigger quality fish. Now, if you want to go rod in hand, you can go back through there, send a waypoint through there. If you trigger a couple different fish, now you can go back and rod in hand. But help yourself be efficient, right? That's the other thing I like to do on this show here is my biggest job is to save you all kinds of money. But the other thing is to help you become efficient. Cover more water right now. Find those big time fish and then come back, and if you want to sit on them for a while with a snap jigging presentation, some other of those great baits that we've talked about here on TRS Live, that's the opportunity to do it. But this thing is a Lake Erie staple, but it's also proven everywhere. It's probably one that you can use on Mille Lacs, you know, some of those other bodies of water in Minnesota. I know the Bay of Green Bay, this is one of those awesome baits to get out there and catch the better quality fish. But it's really simple, everybody. With this one here, the big time rattle, the big time wobble, it's just going to help you catch big time fish. And normal retail price, $6.99. Right now, we have them on sale on therealshot.com for $5. You see the price, you see the prices on your screen, you see the colors again on your screen, and that code at the very top. That BWEDD code, that's the code that if you are on there and you're like, oh, what was Trotz talking about today on TRS Live, you know, enter that code in. That's going to bring you right to these products. Now, one thing I forgot to mention in the intro is, you know, on our website, therealshot.com, there's a categories tab. So you scroll through there, you're going to see TRS Live Shopping. That categories tab is awesome because it really helps you to be efficient. That's what our goal is here on TRS Live, through shopping through therealshot.com. But one thing is if you scroll down, you see TRS Live Shopping, you click that, it's going to bring you to the calendar of past shows, it's going to bring you to the calendar of upcoming shows, and the other thing too is it's going to talk about some of the products that are on there. Now, here's the kind of forewarn. Some of these products may still be on sale, some of these products may not be on sale. Just depends on the inventory levels too. Some we have a ton of inventory of, some like the Wise Eye camera kits that we talked about on Wednesday. I think we had 4 available in stock of that whole entire kit. So it's kind of one of those here today, gone tomorrow mentalities. And the cool thing about doing this live show is it lets you know that these products are available on the website right now. So if it's something that you're missing, or you're something that you're looking for, we have them right now. So the colors again are the chrome red eye, which is the one I have in my hand right here. And I think this is the perfect one to either fish on its own, or if you are an angler that's trying to get into painting or kind of creating some of your own unique colors, the chrome is going to be a perfect color for that, especially at that $5 per bait. To take advantage of it. And the other one too is the Party Zebra. It's like a Party Friday here at TRS Live, and that's the one that's right here on the table next to me. So like, what was that? You got me some, oh look at it, yeah, it's a party. And like iHunter says too, yeah, one free with the fixed TV discount. I think that's, it's awesome, you know, so it's again one of those things, there's perks. There's perks to being a fixed TV subscriber, and there's definitely big time perks to watching TRS Live. So again, everybody, it's the Bandit Walleye Deep Diver. It's 4 3/4 inches long, 5/8 ounce. It's got the big old rattles in it, and it's got my thumb now. You can hear those big time rattles, and those aren't the hooks. I'll kind of pin these hooks down. I mean, that's a big old rattle in there. It's like a maraca, Aaron. Ba-na-na-na-na-na-na. Okay, so anyways, big old knockers in there, big old wobble equals big fish. Right now, this is the time of year to use this sucker out there on your favorite body of water and target those better quality fish. Colors again, chrome red eye, and then Party Zebra. So you see all the information on your screen. If this is the bait you are interested at, add it to the cart, but don't check out yet because we have some pretty simple products coming up here on TRS Live and sinkers. Who doesn't need some sinkers? And Water Gremlin, well, Water Gremlin is the company you're pretty much going to have to go with unless you pour your own. So coming up next here on on TRS Live is the Water Gremlin round split shot sinker selector. Holy smokes, that's a mouthful. So after these brief commercial breaks, that's what we're going to be talking about here on TRS Live.
Gary Atkins, professional angler in the National Professional Fishing League. Tune in to TRS Live for the best deals on all your outdoor gear and apparel. If you're going to want a shot at the big bass, you're going to need the real shot. Take it from me, professional angler Gary Atkins.
It's Matt Trotz here with The Guided Life. We just met up with one of the guys from the crew, and he's like, they're on a hot track, so it's 104 high and get on these back roads and scream. Every year that I've been a part of that and I go to that class, I always learn something. So these guys are gonna join me, and the reason I asked these two guys in here is because we got Travis, who does a lot of public land hunting, and then Judd and I are private land, owners and hunters for the most part as well. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you on the next one. Welcome back to TRS Live, everybody. I am your host of TRS Live. My name is Matt Trotz. So again, happy Friday, man. What's going on with a Friday? Hey, before we get into this next product, Gary Atkins, who is our TRS sponsored angler, we've had him on the show. He does a phenomenal job. He has an event coming up for the MPFL later on this month. And he just won the last event, so he's rolling into another smallmouth event. So if you haven't yet, do me a favor, go follow Gary Atkins and wish him good luck in his next upcoming event, because we are so jacked for him to be a part of our team. And man, he is rolling into some awesome events. So Gary Atkins, he's on the commercial there. He's telling you all about the great stuff about TRS Live. Watch his episode. Maybe Aaron can remind me which episode is. That was the struggle with the Berkeley. We couldn't even open up the Berkeley plastics that day. But yeah, go follow Gary Atkins. He's sitting in a very good spot this year. I think Angler of the Year too. He's sitting in a very good spot on the MPFL. Yeah, I think he was 6th going into the last event. So I don't know where he's sitting, but you can check that out here and maybe let me know. But up next is just one of these simple products. You see all the information on your screen right now. We are going to be talking about the Water Gremlin round split shot sinker selector. So this little dial of Dubuque here has all the information you want in it. It's got a bunch of different size sinkers, 78 pieces to be exact. The sizes that are in here are BB, 3/0, number 7, and number 5. So we've talked a lot about on this show, right, is just having necessities. If you're building a tackle box for a new angler out there, or if it's your own tackle box, you just never know when you're going to need a good split shot, and Water Gremlin is the company. So the cool thing is I like to educate you a little bit on the histories of some of these companies as well. So here's, Aaron just updated me. Gary Atkins is officially in 2nd for Angler of the Year going into this next event. So he's 11 points back from the leader. So go ahead and follow Gary Atkins. Wish him some luck. But anyways, so Water Gremlin has been America's favorite fish and sinker company since 1949. Now, the other thing that's cool about Water Gremlin is they're American designed, American built. They're out of White Bear Lake, Minnesota, and they actually started with obviously the sinkers and then some lures as well. But here's a fun fact. They also make battery terminals. So that's some cool information from the brand Water Gremlin. But I mean, if you bought a split shot, if you bought a sinker, you've probably seen this little guy on there, that little awesome logo. Water Gremlin is the company to go with. So this is one that if you're building a tackle box and you're looking to save some money on that person's tackle box, $2.99 normal retail price for this little kit right here. We got it on sale for $2. And again, this is one that you're going to want to go with. All the information to order is right on your screen right here. So let's talk a little bit about it. So obviously we hit on the big thing is it's made in the USA, right there in Minnesota. It's made of lead and are consistent quality. The cool thing about these is it's a soft enough lead though that it pinches really easy, so you really don't need tools or your teeth. My wife would be very mad if she found out that I pinched some of these down with my teeth before. Don't do that. These are soft enough lead that you can do it with your hand. Also, thanks, Aaron, for giving me some information. I like that. That's a cool little feature here. Gary was on the show, show number 9. So that date was June 20th of this year. So if you're interested in watching that Gary show, you can do that. We're just all over the place today, Aaron. It's a Freaky Friday, my man. But anyways, so it's I think I kind of let off with their lead. You hear that, Aaron? I let off. There's a soft enough lead that you don't need a tool to pinch it on the line. But the other thing too is there's a gripper enough. These are grippy enough to fit even some of the best lines or pinch to some of the best line qualities that are out there. And these are one like, you know, heck, maybe even with that deep diving crankbait we just got done talking about, that stick bait from Bandit. Maybe you want to pinch one or two of these little guys up there, right up near the bill to help that thing dive down a little deeper. You didn't bring your wire rods that day or your leg core rods. Maybe you need a little extra depth, and if you don't have the app like iHunter was talking about, that precision trolling app, you know, but you know that you got to get down a little bit deeper. Throw in a couple of these up there. Now that may affect the action of the bait, but it's either do I need some of the big time wobble on that Bandit, or do I just need to get down? Having this little thing right here with you is going to help you. For me, the other thing too is this time of year, the perch bite is absolutely phenomenal on the bay right now. It's also doing very well on the Winnebago system. A lot of the anglers out there will throw this out with dead stick. They'll have some of these split shots on them if they're just dangling right below the boat, or maybe they're using a floating jig head to get that bait off the bottom a little bit. There's actually another product that we're going to be talking about today too that's going to be working great for the perch. But it's really simple, everybody. A lead sinker kit like this, 78 pieces. We talked about the sizes, the BB, the 3/0, the number 7, and it's a number 5. Are just some simple stuff that you need to do. And the other nice thing about this lead is it's soft enough that you know, if you get hung up on it, maybe you won't lose the whole entire rig. Maybe you'll just snap the lead portion off. Maybe the lead will pull off the line and you'll be all good. But with the gripper portion on this thing, a lot of times if it gets hung up, you're probably going to have to retie. But it's a simple setup. You know, I've caught a lot of perch in the early springtime here, just throwing out a split shot. And with this kit too, it allows you to really dial in that program. So if you're running, you know, off the bottom and the current picks up, or you know, you need to get down a little deeper, you know, there's a hole here that's a little bit deeper on, you can dial this thing right to the perfect size lead that you need out of here, and then just snap that right on, obviously toolless and toothless if that's a thing too. But you know, it really helps you out. It's just a kit. It's a simple kit that everybody should have. Yeah, and then there's another tip. iHunter's just crushing it today in the chat. He says, on the line helps keep weeds off your line too, and keeps other junk. I mean, think about this. When that cotton's falling in the, you know, midsummer, that cotton is so annoying. Just even the lightest, like that BB style one in here, it's not going to really affect the majority of your action of your lure depending on what you're throwing. But just something so simple like that could help keep all that cotton from getting down in your bait. And we all know that once that stuff's on there, it's such a pain. But just a simple tool like this, you know, and that's what I liked about the chat is, you know, there's a lot of chat, there's a lot of people in the chat that give out some helpful tips. So if you're not a member of the Fixed TV or you're not on the live chat, definitely join on and let me know some more of the testimonials. But America's favorite fisher company since 1949. That's pretty darn impressive. They've been crushing the game for a long, long time. Let's see, what else did my notes kind of say? I mean, it's a handy case. It's easy, it's convenient, it'll fit in there. You can kind of pin it to some certain areas. But having the assortment of lead sometimes is definitely going to be nice, depending on the techniques. And like we were talking about, if you're slip bobbering, or you're running a bobber rig for, you know, maybe it's walleyes, maybe it's perch, maybe it's crappies, maybe it's bluegills, whatever you may be targeting, salmon, steelhead, that kind of stuff. When you're river fishing, you know, you got to cater that to the environment that you're fishing. If the current picks up, now I need to slow that presentation down. So if I don't want multiple split shots on my line, I have the capability in here to bump it up. Maybe I grab the bigger portion of here, snap that on, take the little ones off, put it back in this little dial case right here, and then really allows me to dial in the presentation that I want. That's going to help me catch more fish. So this one's really simple. There's 4 sizes in this little kit. There's 78 pieces in this little kit. Plus, when it's gone, you know, if you use up all the lead, don't throw it away. Just repurchase. We're saving you money. Repurchase some more lead at the Reel Shot. Buy some bulk packs of the water gremlin stuff, and just add them in there. And then again, you have this little handy carrying case. You don't have to have all those plastic bags everywhere. Just kind of keep filling this little guy up right here. But this is going to be one of those ones that just throw it in a tackle box. You just never ever know when you might need a good piece of lead, or you might need to really cater your setup. So water gremlin, the round split shot sinker selector is going to help you out. We said 4 sizes in here. Again, the sizes are BB 3/0, number 7 and number 5. There's 78 pieces in here. Normal retail price is $2.99 on this kit. You're going to get it for $2. And for me, I like to just tell everybody, this is one, if you're building a tackle box for somebody, add this to their kit and they will be very happy. So water gremlin, you see all the information on your screen. You can go ahead and add that to your cart too at thereelshot.com. But we're not done again. I mean, I got some more products. And the next one that we're going to talk about it again is a simple product. You know, if you're adding this water gremlin kit to it, you might need some 3-ways to go along with that. So next up is the Eagle Claw 3-way swivels. There's a couple of different sizes that we're going to be talking about. And assorted, normal retail price was pretty darn good, but we're going to come back with some even better savings on the Eagle Claw 3-way swivel. So enjoy these commercials, and we'll be right back with more TRS Live.
I'm Gary Atkins, professional angler in the National Professional Fishing League. I've been fishing professionally for 4 years. I spent 3 years as a pro in the Northern Opens, and now I've been fishing 1 year in the National Professional Fishing League. Tune in to TRS Live for the best deals on all your outdoor gear and apparel. you're going to want a shot at the big bass, you're going to need the reel shot.
There's the boom right there, Gary Atkins, your smallmouth specialist.
Take it from me, professional angler Gary Atkins.
It's Matt Trotz here with The Guided Life. We just met up with one of the guys from the crew, and he's like, they're on a hot track, so it's put her 4 high and get on these back roads and scream. Every year that I've been a part of that and I go to that class, I always learn something. So these guys are gonna join me, and the reason I asked these 2 guys in here is because we got Travis, who does a lot of public land hunting, and then Judd and I are private land, owners and hunters for the most part as well. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you on the next one. Hello and welcome back to TRS Live. I'm your host, Matt Trotz, and today we're kind of talking about some things that are going to help you catch some big time fish. And the other thing we're talking about are some products that are just necessities for every tackle box out there. And this next product here, the 3-way swivel from Eagle Claw, is definitely one of those things that you just need to have in your tackle box. There's a lot of different varieties of fishing that you can do with this, but what I liked is when I was doing a little bit of research on the company Eagle Claw, it was pretty interesting to find out. So it was founded in 1925, so that's over 90 plus years ago. So it's basically American legacy. Denver, Colorado, Wright and McGill Company, and they started out making fish hooks. And that story is pretty interesting itself on how they actually designed and created their own fish hook. It was the gentleman was out trout fishing in Colorado, was missing some trout that morning. They would rise up, they'd eat his fly, but then he would miss them on the hook set. Well, he noticed, and this sounds like too unbelievable to believe, but this is on their website. He noticed an eagle flying around, and the eagle perched up next to him in a tree, and he saw the big old talons grasping a branch above him. And he's like, huh, that looks pretty interesting. And then the eagle flew down and grabbed one of his trout that he was trying to target. And he's like, well, if that eagle doesn't let go of it, I need to design a hook. So he actually brought his baits in, tweaked a hook that he had with him, did it just right, gave it that Eagle Claw talon style look to it, and started catching a bunch more fish. And that's where it all started. It's the most recognizable brand in all fishing. Is pretty simple right there. So Eagle Claw is a staple in the fishing industry. And the 3-way swivel in the variety of sizes that we're talking about, 4, 6, 8, 10, those are the sizes are going to allow you to catch a lot of fish in a lot of different presentations. And some of those presentations, for us here, we have the Wolf River rig, which is a lot of anglers use that early on in the season to catch walleye, to catch white bass. If you take off the Aberdeen hook, maybe you just simply run an Aberdeen and you're running it with a live bait presentation. Some will actually snip off that Aberdeen hook and they'll throw on a walleye fly, and then they'll go, they'll be dragging flies. So that's another thing that you can find on the realshot.com website. So there's a couple different ways right there that we've already talked about with the simple 3-way. And it all starts with this little guy right here, right? The 3-way swivel, for those who don't know, well, that's just as simple. It's got 3 different connection points to it, where you have one direct goes back to your main line, and then you can have one that goes to your bait, whatever that may be, or you have one that goes down to a weight on the bottom of the water. It just helps you drag that along the bottom. And pulling the Wolf River rig, pulling the fly rig is something that a lot of anglers take advantage of in the springtime here around the Fox Valley area. But that doesn't mean that that's the only thing that you're going to need this three-way swivel to do. Is catching catfish, catching perch. We kind of talked about that. You know, this three-way swivel with that variety of technique that we just talked about is going to allow you to catch a lot more fish than just walleye and white bass. You know, the other thing too is if we want to go back to the walleye portion of it, is if you are a head-to-head fan, we've seen anglers utilize the three-way swivel setup, you know, to help them catch a lot of walleyes. And now some of those other rigs that, you know, myself, I learned about as I was kind of commentating about head-to-head was, you know, the Dubuque Rig, where that's simply, you go back to your main line tie, right? And then you'll have a shorter lead with a jig and plastic or an Aberdeen hook, a bait keeper style hook and a plastic. And then coming off the bottom of it, you'll have a little longer lead depending on what line size you need. And then you'll have a jig and plastic on the bottom. So what that does is that allows that one plastic to kind of be more streamlined. And then the other thing too is you'll have that weight on the bottom with your jig and plastic, or maybe even it's a live bait and you're just pulling that along the water column. So you got to check your regulations, make sure that that's legal in your area, but you could do that as well. Now the other one too that I think we saw this more in the Mississippi River than we've seen in other events, you know, so we just got done talking about the Dubuque Rig. That kind of opened a lot of people's eyes around here, right? Majority of the anglers around here are so used to running the fly rigs, the walleye flies, or the Wolf River rigs, that we saw the Dubuque Rig, and that kind of opened up a lot of people's eyes to that. But then the other one on the Mississippi River we saw, they call it the Denver Rig. So what that is, again, utilizes the three-way swivel from Eagle Claw, main line tie. You'll have an Aberdeen hook or a lighter jig hook with a plastic, and then coming down you'll have another longer lead to a crankbait, original floating Rapala, or something that's going to give you a little more float. So you have that crankbait digging down here, right, attracting those fish, and then coming off to here with a little bit shorter lead, you'll have your jig and plastic or your Aberdeen hook and plastic, whatever it may be. But that one's called the Dubuque Rig. So that's a pretty interesting setup as well. And again, just like we talked about with the Bandit, it allows you to cover a lot more water efficiently, and it also gives those fish a little different look. But again, you got to check your regulations. Maybe some lakes, that's, you know, some states, that's too many lines on, or too many presentations on one line, so on and so forth. But, you know, those are a couple of different techniques. Plus, like we talked about, the setup for catfish, it allows you to have that bait down there, a shorter lead. Virtually, when you look at this is almost like a drop shot in a sense. You know, this is like a drop shot style presentation. So if you're looking, you have a spot on the spot, you can drop down and have a floating jig head. A lot of people will put something that floats on here, you know, so you can have a short lead depending on where those fish are at in that water column. Again, off the bottom, it depends on what the weight needs to be. I recommend too, even the drop shot weights would work great for that. That way you're not losing the whole entire kit. And the other thing too is you can quickly take that drop shot weight off and throw another weight on there. Or if you want to run a swivel on there, a snap swivel. I think we talked about the Berkeley style snap swivels before. You can snap those to your line, and that way too you can quickly change. If things change rapidly, like we talked about with the Eagle or the Water Gremlin lead, you have that capabilities. With this three-way swivel allows you to do a lot of different things. And I'm trying to catch up here on iHunter's chat. He says three-way spring walleye trolling, 18 inches down to a 3 to 4 to 5 ounce bank sinker, 6 feet back, number 5 or number 7 original floating Rapala, works in the rivers and lakes. There you go. So he knows how popular this simple three-way swivel can be, and that's it. I mean, the easiest thing is this is one of those things that just have it in the tackle box, because again, you never know when you need to make that change to get these, you know, those fish to bite. And a lot of this stuff we're talking about are for, you know, we've talked about walleye quite a bit, but don't don't queue out. Like, this would be a great presentation again for perch fishing. Right now, they're catching a ton of perch on the Bago and the bay system. This could definitely work with that. And I know a lot of anglers utilize a floating jig with a chunk of crawler or a Helgermite if you can find them, or a minnow or something like that. Crappies as well. Crappies in the early springtime with that little presentation. Just something what that allows you to do is it allows you to drop that bait down and allows you to just jiggle it, right? And you're basically enticing those fish. You're giving them a different options. And if you run something like the Denver rig or the Dubuque rig, you know, that also allows you to have two different presentations on one line. So maybe on the Dubuque rig, you're running a chartreuse ringworm or a moxie that we just got done talking about. And then you have a different bait on the bottom of it, a different one of your favorite plastics. You can have all that on one line and don't have to worry about having multiple rods set up or changing a bunch of times, right? It's just really simple. If you have a snap swivel to it, or if you have just a quick snap to it, you can change those presentations quite a bit. But the three-way swivel is, again, one of those things that you should just add to your tackle box just to have it along with you. And you're going to see now, this is one too, when you go to therealshot.com, you're going to see some are at a $129 a pack normal retail, some are at $149 a pack normal retail. Right now, take advantage, they're all 99 cents. So if you go to therealshot.com and you type in the codes that you see there on the screen, you know, shop around, but they're all 99 cents. And the sizes, again, are 4, 6, 8, and 10. And then the quantities are kind of the same way. So if you buy the 4s, you get 4 with them. The 6s, you'll get 6 with them. So obviously we're getting the 6s are smaller. The 8 drops down to be smaller yet. Then you get 8 with those. And the size 10s, you will get 8 in a package with those. So again, the Eagle Claw three-way swivel, like we talked about, it was the most recognizable brand in fishing. You know, it's just one of those simple things that you don't maybe think about, but at 99 cents a pack, add a bunch to your tackle box. There you have them. If you're building that tackle box for that new angler out there, you know, this is something that you need to add right along with that water Gremlin lead. And at 99 cents a pack, man, that's an awesome deal right there. And again, that just proves why TRS Live is here to save you a bunch of money, but yet give you a quick education on things as well. So it's Eagle Claw three-way swivel, everybody. Their sizes are 4, 6, 8, and 10. The quantities are virtually the same. Size 4, you get 4, 6, you get 6, 8, you get 8, but the size 10, you get 8 in a package. 99 cents. The colors are red and brass, so it's really simple. Look at this one's just ready to jump in your cart right now on therealshot.com. But go ahead and add those to the cart, but we're not done yet. I mean, you can see them. Aaron's got them on the screen. It's just a real simple one, everybody. Add it to the cart, add it to the water Gremlin. It's, you know, maybe you want to fish it with the Bandit somehow. I don't know, get creative. But that's a cool thing. Show me, tell me. You know, I got iHunter in the chat right now. He's really doing a great job of giving out a bunch of education. Send us some testimonials. Send us some pictures to the Facebook page for The Real Shot. Let us know, hey, I got this product on therealshot.com when I was watching TRS Live. Send us some testimonials. Let us know your thoughts. We would love to use them here on the show. Plus, that chat's always open as long as we are live. But so it's Eagle Claw three-way swivel. Colors, again, red and brass. Sizes 4, 6, 8, and 10 are available, and they're all 99 cents. So go ahead and snatch up a bunch of those. But we're not done yet. We got one more product coming up here. We're going to chill. We're just going to talk about a big old TRD. It's a big old turd coming up next after this one. Actually, it's not big. It's giant. So we talked about the Bandit's going to help you catch big quality fish in your lake. Well, the Z-Man Giant TRD is going to be here to do that as well. Plus, I might bring my special guest in here, Aaron, to help me show you a cool thing. So we'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
I'm Gary Atkins, professional angler in the National Professional Fishing League. Tune in to TRS Live for the best deals on all your outdoor gear and apparel. If you're going to want a shot at the big bass, you're going to need the Real Shot. Take it from me, professional angler Gary Atkins.
It's Matt Trotz here with The Guided Life. We just met up with one of the guys from the crew, and he's like, they're on a hot track, so it's put her 4 high and get on these back roads and scream. Every year that I've been a part of that and I go to that class, I always learn something. So these guys are gonna join me, and the reason I asked these 2 guys in here is because we got Travis, who does a lot of public land hunting, and then Judd and I are private land, owners and hunters for the most part as well. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you on the next one. Welcome back, everybody. TRS Live. Man, we're having fun here on Friday. I'm saving you a bunch of money, and I'm hopefully educating you on some ways to use some cool products. Actually, iHunter in the chat's doing a great job of educating everybody as well. But the final product on this Friday episode of TRS Live is the Z-Man Giant TRD, and the color is smelt, and the TRD actually stands for the real deal, just so you know. But I like to call it the giant turd, and I think Z-Man likes that too. But the color is smelt. This thing is a 6-inch profile. Woo! It's like a centipede on steroids right here. This thing is absolutely awesome. And you know, I like to smell plastics. Yeah, I'm smelling this one, and it doesn't have as much smell, but boy, this thing has a ton of salt in it. Watch this. If I shoot this table, I'll shoot salt all over the place. So this thing has a lot of salt in it, which adds to the buoyancy of this, the material, this Elastec material that these are made of. So you got the flavor, nom, 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 nom. You got the salt flavor, plus the Elastec helps these things be really buoyant. So for those who follow Z-Man and have fished some of the Z-Man baits out there, you know that like their Ned rigs are super popular. The TRD is one of the most staple baits from Z-Man. And the cool thing about it is when you drop these to the bottom, if you're Ned fishing them, or on this one here, you should fish it with the mag shrooms. So it's the big old mag head shrooms. These things really stand up on the bottom. And it's really awesome because it gives a lot of natural movement to it. Plus, look at this. Look at that crazy stretch on these things. And then one of the cool things is with this material that they're made of, this Elastec material, which Z-Man is known for, when you put it on that mag shrooms head, there's a simple process with that keeper on there. You actually want to snap this up on that mag shrooms head. That way it stays on that plastic or that jig, that bait keeper a lot longer. Plus, I've had this happen the other day, and it absolutely drives me nuts. How many times does a fish bit it and snap your tail portion off? What, dude? Look at this. I don't think a fish is going to take that tail portion off of this thing. And just like the Bandit, offshore fishing right now is kind of key. A lot of those big fish have moved off the shores, and they're staging out in some deeper water. And this is the time of year, if you're a bass fisherman, I bet you this thing would even work for a walleye, to go target some of those Megasaurus fish that are out deep. This is the bait to do it. It's a 6-inch profile. That smelt color looks pretty good. So that's kind of that smelt, or am I saying it wrong, Aaron? I'm saying smelt again. It's smelt. I know, smelt does sound better. I agree. How do you say it? Let me know in the chat, iHunter. I don't know how you would let me know in the chat. But anyways, I like to say it's smelt, but it's probably smelt. But anyways, that's a kind of a staple on majority of the bodies of water throughout the United States is smelt. So staple. But yeah, so it's a good fish catching bait, and you can fish it more than just like that Ned style with that Meg Shrooms head on the bottom. You could Carolina rig this thing, and because it floats, it's going to be right in that strike zone the whole time. You could also Texas rig this if you're flipping it through some little bit heavier cover and you want a slower drop to it, but you want to increase your hookups for some big fish. Flipping it, pitching it, Texas rigging it, Carolina rigging it, Dakota rigging it, Wisconsin rigging it. No, I don't think you could chicken rig this thing. You might be able to. You could. If you tiny child rig this thing, it would be like a toddler style rig. But this thing is awesome. It's like I said, it's got it's a supersized jig worm package, perfect for offshore. Buoyant material, allows it to stand up on the bottom. Watch this, it's going to stand up on its own. Now I'm just kidding. I have the jig head in here. But a little history on Z-Man. We talked about this before. I think we did what's the new big chatter bit that just came with the giant chatter, or the clickety clacker, whatever it is. Z-Man really came on the market when the chatterbait came out. But for the longest time, since I believe since the 1980s, they were kind of behind the scenes. They made the high-end premium silicone skirts. But when that chatterbait came out, and they actually coined the phrase. The chatterbait is actually the Z-Man phrase for that. Although everybody else, they got to call it a bladed jig. Z-Man's the only company that can technically call it a chatterbait. The big blade from Z-Man, that's the one we talked about. We found out that they have a good history of making a lot of high-end products, and some of these things right here is definitely the deal about it. The 10-time tough Elastec construction provides maximum durability and buoyancy when standing up off the bottom. Packed with salt, super soft. They're out of Charleston, South Carolina, over 30 plus years in the industry. But I want to do this. So if you didn't know this already, The Real Shot has a TikTok page, and TikTok is all the trend. I know a lot of people are on TikTok. The Guided Life has a TikTok as well, just so you know. But we actually did a fun video. I think it was not the giant TRD, as the big TRD the other day. We took it out, and we have a ruler that stretches, 70-something inches. And we got that regular TRD to stretch to about 49 inches before Aaron lost grip of it because it's so salt impregnated and slippery and everything like that. But we're going to do a stretch contest live here on TRS Live, and we're going to stretch this bad boy and just show you how durable this Elastec 10 times material is to add buoyancy. So here comes my special guest. Holy smokes, that's a ruler. So there's Aaron. Can you see Aaron, everybody? Hey, Aaron, say hi to TRS Live.
I don't have a microphone.
You don't have a microphone, but they can hear you. Okay, so Aaron's on the smart end. He's on the #1 side. I actually am going to go to the side that I got to do most of the work. Now, did you work your hands out this morning? Do you have good grip this morning and ready to roll?
Been practicing.
Okay, so we're going to stretch this thing, everybody. And this ruler, yes, I was right. It goes to 72 inches. Now, what was the big TRD? It went to like 49. Okay, here we go. So go back to the starting spot. We're going. You got it?
I get it.
Okay. There it is. We're at 49. Plus some, because my fingers. It's slipping out of my hand.
Slipping out of my hand, too.
It's going. I'm at 55.
Woo.
Here we go. Let's go a little bit more. I got a little more. I got to re-grip it. So I'm going to show everybody. Can you see it in the camera? I got about a ½ inch in my hand as well. Ha! That's a funny joke on a Friday. Look at Aaron struggle. This thing is so soft.
It's so salty.
It's so salty.
Oh my goodness.
Don't be salty, Aaron. Ready? Here we go. We're going to do a quick one. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, it's like 60 inches. Let go. Oh, 60 inches. Thanks for joining me, buddy. There you go. So we're having fun on a Friday. What is it used for? Says iHunter. Bass fisherman. This is a big-time bass fishing bait. This is what it's used for. But I bet you could go out there, and I bet you could target giant walleyes with this thing. I bet you this thing would catch some giant walleyes. It's a stick bait. It mimics a crawler, mimics a worm in the water. It's used for bass. Offshore bassing is popular, especially right now, kind of like with the walleyes. But if you think about it, on the PWS for head-to-head fishing, we saw Joe Okada throwing a Texas rigged stick bait, and I bet you a nickel it was very similar to the Z-Man one, and he was pounding walleyes on it. So if you're looking to catch some big walleyes, especially offshore right now, I want somebody to dare and say, iHunter already beat me to the punch. He says you've used that bait for walleyes. But you've used the giant TRD, iHunter? Doug, you've used it before? The giant one? Look at that thing. You could also snap your buddies. So if they make you mad in a boat, you can snap them with it. But with this thing, and the head that you want you to pair with it is called the Mag Shrooms with a Z at the end of that. It's probably you could definitely find that on therealshot.com. But here's a warning though. When you use the Z-Man plastics, keep them in the original packaging, because the Elastec material that they are made out of will melt other plastics. It has happened to me. It has probably happened to a lot of other people out there by accident. If you store this out of package in your box with other plastics, it'll melt them. It'll definitely melt them. This Elastec material, it's like, to me, like, because I'm a tree nerd, it's like a black walnut. A black walnut, when it grows in your yard, will actually kill other plants in the area, so it can have all the water and nutrients. Elastec from Z-Man will do the same thing. It'll kill all your other plastics in there. It'll actually melt them together. Then they're not going to be usable. So store these in the original packaging. But did we even talk about a price yet, Aaron? $5.49 is a normal retail. And what do you get in here? How many do you get in this pack? You get six of these 6-inch baits in there. Normal retail price $5.49. You're going to snatch them up for $4.39. So I've saved you a bunch of money today, everybody, and I've talked to you about a bunch of different ways to fish all these baits that we talked about. And iHunter says, yep, he has definitely used the giant TRD here from Z-Man, Detroit River. He says on a 3/4 ounce jig, and he's caught big magnet. What's the biggest walleye you caught on it? Doug, let me know there, and I'll let the fans know about it. But smelt color, it doesn't matter what you want to call it. It's going to catch you a bunch of fish. It's a Z-Man giant TRD, color smelt, 6-inch profile. That famous Elastec plastic, we just saw it stretch this sucker over 60 inches, and it still looks ready to roll. The other thing too about that is some people actually like to stretch them a little bit to add some of that buoyancy to them. If you stretch it, it kind of like moves that salt around. I mean, if you got a close up with this thing, Aaron, can you, if I hold it, like how close can I get where you can see all that salt that's in there? Right there. And can you kind of see it? Let's see if I stretch it. If I stretch it in this camera angle, you can definitely kind of see all that salt that's in there. Usually if I go like this, you can you see the salt popping off of that thing? Is this mine now? Do I have to keep this one? 8 pounds. Cut in half, 8 pounds, 8-pound fish caught on these things. Plus, I mean, it's, yeah, you could, I mean, at 6 inches, you could get a couple of big regular Ned rigs out of this thing too if you wanted to trim it down. So, Z-Man Giant TRD in the smelt color, 6-inch profile, packed with salt, 6-pack for normal retail price, $5.49. You're going to get it on sale for $4.39 only at therealshot.com. Plus, you saw us stretch it over 60 inches. That might be a new world record. Probably not, but it's a new Real Shot record. So, hey, go ahead and follow us on TikTok too, where you're out there. Check that all out. We're really trying to amp that up, starting to make some really fun videos on there. If you're a TikToker, please give us a follow. Hey, like the Guided Life too while you're at it, plus all our other shows. So again, I'm going to wrap this one up, everybody. It was a lot of fun here on Friday. Hopefully you were educated. Hopefully you were entertained. And hopefully I saved you a bunch of money. So again, I'm out of here. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe, number one. Have a ton of fun out there. Hopefully you go out there, use some of the baits that you've seen on TRS Live. Maybe you're one of those people that are going to get those Wise Eye cameras set up in your woods right now and start monitoring those big old giant bucks. Season's closing in Wisconsin. I know some other seasons, antelope seasons open up in August. getting ready for and getting amped up for elk season. All that stuff is rolling in. We're kind of in the hog days, dog days, frog days of summer. So go out there and catch some bass, catch some walleyes. And do me a favor, if you have success, whether it's a product that you got here on TRS Live or it's another product that you got either in store or on therealshot.com, go to our social media page, send us a message, send us a picture. We would love to use that on our Facebook page to show off your catching skills, your harvesting skills, and then as well the great products that the Real Shot carries. So I'm out of here, everybody. I will see you Monday morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time.